This is the Santa Cruz River. It creates a diverse, lush ecosystem in the otherwise dry Sonoran grasslands. The river once served as the corridor for Spanish explorers, and still serves many communities of southern Arizona today. Despite water diversions, the river has rebounded and is now thriving. It provides an ideal habitat for a wide array of plants and animals. This is partly thanks to a wastewater treatment plant in Arizona. It delivers highly treated effluent into the river, providing a much-needed source of clean water. The Gila top minnow, a fish protected under the Endangered Species Act, had vanished from the river, but thanks to the renewed habitat, the rare fish has returned. This is a strong indicator of the good health of the river and of the entire ecosystem that surrounds it.
Habitat here on the river is great for this species. It's a perfect place to have Gila top minnow.
Although it's not a natural system, the effluent is supporting really important habitat.
However, the health of the river and its surrounding community is threatened by a failing sewage pipeline that spans the border between the US and Mexico. Each day, the International Outfall Interceptor carries 10 million gallons of raw sewage from Mexico. Another 4 million gallons is added from the Arizona side. The raw sewage then travels up to the wastewater treatment plant, located 9 miles north of the border.
If that pipe breaks, raw sewage will infect the entire watershed.
Drinking water in the region could be contaminated by pollutants, such as raw sewage containing fecal bacteria, pathogens that cause disease, toxic metals such as cadmium and chromium, and other industrial pollutants.
We all depend on the groundwater aquifer for our potable water supply.
This unstable sewage pipe threatens the newly clean water that has allowed an endangered species to thrive. The first problem is fixing the pipe. The Nogales Wash runs from the Mexican border and flows north until it meets the Santa Cruz River. The outdated sewage pipe is buried underneath the wash, making repairs difficult. The wash itself is also in dire need of repair.
The concrete liner of this wash has a history of tearing loose, and the concern is if that happens, there will be erosion, the sewer line will break, and there could be contamination that spreads up the Santa Cruz River all the way into Pima County, for example.
The erosion in the underground section of the wash is so severe that officials worry about a sinkhole forming near the border crossing. This would disrupt one of the nation's busiest ports of entry. Maquiladoras are US-owned factories in Mexico that use low-cost labor to assemble products. Those goods are then shipped back across the border. These factories have caused rapid growth on the Mexican side of the border, further adding to the stress on the sewage pipe. During heavy rains, sewage systems built for a far smaller population are overwhelmed. Because the Mexican side of the border is at a higher elevation, the floods rush downhill into the border communities on the US side. And it's not just water. Raw sewage and a toxic mix of surface runoff combine, threatening to contaminate homes and businesses. The sewage pipe is already leaking raw sewage into the groundwater, and the cement panels lining the Nogales Wash suffer damage from seasonal flooding. However, there is currently no funding to upgrade these aging structures. A proposal to insert a plastic liner into the sewage pipe has been delayed. The city of Nogales, Arizona, has a long-standing dispute with the International Boundary Water Commission over who should pay the estimated $30 to $40 million for the liner.
The city cannot afford much at all to help finance that, and everyone feels it's an international issue that should be handled by federal government.
Unfortunately, even if federal authorities can settle the dispute, hydrology experts like Ben Lomeli say a plastic liner is only a short-term fix.
It may not add a whole lot of structural protection against erosion caused by a good flood.
Concerned citizens with Friends of the Santa Cruz River have been monitoring the river's health for more than 25 years. In 2009, they helped secure a major upgrade for the wastewater treatment plant. The Gila top minnow was key to this success. Friends of the Santa Cruz River thinks its return can help get federal attention once more.
We certainly hope that the Gila Tapmano's presence will put pressure on the IBWC to actually bring some major funding to bear on this infrastructure problem at the border.
The aging sewage pipe remains a substantial threat to clean water. After the $60 million upgrade to the wastewater treatment plant paid for by the US government, it would be a step backwards to allow a burst sewage pipe to contaminate the water once again.
We've been surveying this stretch of the river since the 90s, and when you came down here, you could smell the ammonia. You could tell that it was not a natural source of water. But once it was cleaned up, you really can't tell that anymore. It certainly doesn't smell like ammonia. That was the major issue, was the ammonia in the river, because ammonia kills fish.
God bless the Endangered Species Act, because it brought federal attention to this little river and the importance of it as an aquatic habitat for that species.
It's only a matter of time before the sewage pipe fails. We need everyone's help to preserve this precious desert river. Send this video to friends and local media. Urge government representatives to fix the sewage pipeline before it bursts. Contact Friends of the Santa Cruz River to find out more ways you can help.